Hi, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Jen.
And we're the Village Homeschoolers. And we're going to tell you what's up with us today. Welcome to the Village. We are here today to talk to you about random things. So, the two of our few listeners are our lovely partners and spouses. And Jen's husband said, you guys should just talk. He said that we should just talk.
We're selling a personality, and I was not convinced that anybody would want to buy this personality.
Jen did say, she's like, well, I am funnier off cue, like if we don't prepare. So here we go. We're just going to talk to you today. No,
we have things planned.
We have some things. We're actually going to talk about what's going on in our lives as we get into the upcoming academic year and what we're looking forward to and a bunch of stuff. And I want it on the record that this is the first podcast we have ever done without coffee.
Yeah, it's really rough. We stopped drinking coffee almost a month ago. We stopped drinking coffee, both Jen and I. Jen and I have a habit of when we make health changes, we do them in tandem. Like, we can't not do them without each other. Power in numbers.
Yeah. So when everyone went low carb and we were like, yeah, let's do keto, we did it together.
Now we're doing this stupid thing without coffee.
Yeah.
The nightshades.
Yeah. So we're doing a detox for our thyroids.
And I hate to say detox because it has connotations. My mom calls it hippie medicine.
Oh.
Because you're like, yeah, but my liver functions.
Yes, we're working on our organs and inflammation.
Healing our stomachs and our thyroid.
And our guts, yeah. So anyway, yeah, we have been off coffee for like 25 days.
Yeah, it's pretty miserable.
And we've been off nightshades, which if you don't know what a nightshade is, it's a tomato, a pepper, an eggplant. Off, what else have we been off?
Eggs.
Eggs, no dairy.
Yeah. So what do we eat? I don't even know.
Air. We eat like chicken.
Yeah.
Sorry, vegans. No beans. We can't have beans. We can't have nuts. We can't have seeds.
Yeah.
No grains. It's like paleo to the nth degree.
Without flavor.
Yeah, it's missing butter. Now, we can add things back in starting on day 29. So in 4 days, Jen's going to eat all the tomatoes she possibly can.
Because it's the season, yeah?
Well, it is. And I really like salsa.
Yeah, that's true. And so we haven't been able to flavor any of our food.
Yeah. No sugar.
And no paprika, no chili powder, no spices.
Yeah, because those are peppers. You can't have those. No alcohol. That one's okay. I'm fine with that. It's the coffee that's really killing me.
I don't know. I was fine with that until registration week came. Oh,
that's right. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. And we'll talk about what else is going on. So we are detoxing our thyroids. We, of course, and this is how Jen and I are. Everyone's like, we have a couple other people that we know doing it. Not all of them in our co-op. A few of them in our co-op, actually. But actually, two of my childhood, early years, college years, best friends are doing it as well. And neither of them homeschool. Everybody but Jen and I decided to weigh themselves beforehand. Jen and I didn't. So we have we think we might have lost weight. I'm looking at Jen. She's very pretty. She's sitting across from me. She looks svelte and healthy. But we don't know because we were like, all like, women power. It doesn't matter what the number says. It's how you feel. Yeah. And now we're like, did we lose anything? And literally,
was this been worth it?
Somebody asked me, one of my friends who is doing this, she lives in New York, and she was like, how much weight have you lost? Because she was trying to figure out if a medication she uses was affecting her weight loss. And she knows she's lost weight because her clothes are looser. And I saw another friend of ours doing it. She's like, I think I've lost 10 pounds. And I was like, that'd be great to know. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
Jen and I both think her clothes are looser. We both think we're pretty. Well, the other one's pretty. No one loves themselves that much. No, but we don't know. And as Jen said, Jen apparently has always felt great. So she's like, everyone's like, but you feel better? Jen's like, I didn't feel bad to start.
Yeah, I was like, because it's like anti-inflammation. That's what the whole thing is. But right. I didn't really feel inflamed to begin with. Yeah.
Do you sleep better? They talk about that with us.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're like a good sleeper, though.
Yeah. Generally, I wake up really easily, but I do sleep through the night.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Whatever.
There's a loud car passing by. Maybe it's heightened our senses. Anyway.
We lost the sense of taste, so now
we can hear everything. So we're doing this, and we're seeing how this goes. And then we're supposed to stay off a lot of things. But one of the things that really breaks our little caffeine-loving hearts as we head into this school year is that you're supposed to have coffee and caffeine only as a treat occasionally. And so what are we defining as occasionally, Jen?
Compared to what we used to do, I would say once a day, maybe.
I don't think that's what she meant. This is, if you're interested in what we're doing, it's the Amy Myers Thyroid Connection.
Yeah.
She writes a couple of other books too. We are not endorsing this.
Yeah, it's totally hippie medicine.
And we don't...
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, do what you want to do. We're, we just are giving it a whirl.
Why the heck not?
Just like we gave keto a whirl.
Yeah.
Didn't last. We lost weight on that too.
I was so thin for just a second.
Yeah, and then we ate potatoes.
It's gone.
But so this has also led to, what does it trigger? So one of the things you can add back on the thyroid connection is white potatoes. You can add those back. And I was like, I don't think I should, because they're kind of my gateway drug. I mean, once I start, and potatoes lead you to dairy.
Yeah, because potatoes are kind of lame without
butter and cheese. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and then you said your gateway drug was coffee.
Yeah, I can't just have one.
So we think we can go to once a day after this?
Probably not. I'm going to save it for Fridays on co-op days.
I think that's a good idea, once a week, right? To do our...
And I got to do something on Friday.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You people are a lot.
This is a bad week to be doing this too. I don't know. We seem to have a really poor timing when we record podcasts. This is the worst week of the year for anybody running a homeschool co-op or group. It is what we call registration week. Mm-hmm. Otherwise known as things we can't say without getting an explicit warning on our podcast. It's worse for Jen.
Yeah.
Because she's in charge of it.
Yeah, so I have to... Registering people in our co-op currently isn't so bad. It's getting all the new people in.
Right. It's when the new people come in and we have to go through, and it is a process.
Yeah, it's a lot of emailing, a lot of not hearing back from people, a lot of I'll hear back from them and send them all up to register, and then they drop off the face of the planet.
Right.
So it's a lot of waiting around.
Or people wanting classes that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had somebody say, I'd like my child to be in that music class. We're like, the music class that's full and has a wait list? Yes, we're so sorry, that's not going to happen. There's other spots for your child.
Yeah, and people don't really understand what we do or what our setup is. So they start off very enthusiastic, and then they realize, oh, this isn't what I thought it was. I have to clean things afterwards, and I have to stay for the whole day.
Yeah. We had somebody a couple days ago say, I'm worried this is going to be too much of a commitment for me. And I was like, warning bells, warning bells.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And it ended up being too much of a commitment for her. So
good for her.
She respectfully declined the spot.
And as we always say, we're not for everybody. So it's a really stressful. It's also a numbers game. For instance, right now, if you're 4 years old, if you have a 4-year-old in your family, we don't have room for you.
Yeah, we do not have a spot for you. And even the 5 and 6-year-olds, there was 2 spots.
Right. And so it was like playing this math game of who has the right age kids in their family. And all the right age kids.
Yeah, it kind of stinks because there are people higher up on the waiting list that have been waiting for years that happen to have a 4-year-old. And it's like, I have to skip over them to get to the person with just a 13-year-old.
Right. Or a person with a baby and a 9-year-old. So yeah, it's registration week right now. And it makes us not feel good about life.
Mm-hmm. I get real sassy and mean to my husband.
Yeah. So it's really funny. We're doing something with our kids a couple days ago, and her son rode home with me. And I had to get a new vehicle. My old vehicle my mom van hit the crapper. But
and then her son was so excited about her new car that he asked like 37 times if my son could drive in the car.
So he rode with us back to my house. We were driving home, and one of the new features in my vehicle, because it's not a decade plus old, is that it reads the text messages. Mm-hmm. So my kids were recounting that on our last time in the car, there was like, Jennifer says to blah, 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 saying to all the other leaders in the co-op, and she was sending angry, very appropriate. I was wondering what would happen if she cursed and if it would read it. She didn't, though. So it was reading the text messages in the car that Jen was sending, and then I could respond verbally, and it would text back. It was weird. We've clearly not had this available to us until now. And so my kids brought up to her son that registration is happening, and we were getting it kept reading that your mom was texting our mom about registration, and her son goes, oh, registration made my mom real mad yesterday. I just left the room because nothing good was going to happen.
Well, that makes me feel terrible.
She did. No. It was so funny. It was a moment of occasionally. So we all can see the emails and the text messages and the phone calls that are sent to all 5 of the co-op leaders. Mm-hmm. But most of the time they're communicating this week with Jen because she runs registration week. And so, like, occasionally myself and another co-op leader will be like, Jen, are you okay?
Breathe, Jen.
Yeah. Because we'll see, like, a text exchange that is not super
And don't get me wrong, like, we love the new people and we want to welcome them, but there's a lot of people that have been on our wait list for so long or don't even understand what they're getting into or forget that they committed.
Or forget they even got on the waiting list and they're confused why we're contacting them.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of people that are like mean to me for no reason, and it's or just unnecessarily difficult. So I try very hard to be nice, but
and she plays favorites. Right now, there's a woman, like, we were like joking. I think it was a Wednesday that family registered. I was like, oh, we got a favorite, because she was like on it. She was like, yep, okay, I want these classes for my kids, and they were classes that had openings. Mm-hmm. And she immediately filled out her registration information. She immediately paid. She immediately sent the headshots so we make visual rosters.
Signed up for her cleaning days.
She was like all in. Jen was like, done, my favorite.
Yeah.
And so
because sometimes it'll be like, we give them 24 hours to register. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we have to take them off the website. And a lot of times people sign up and go, yes, I'm all about it. And they get on the website and then they drop off the face of the planet. So then I have to email them. And then sometimes they get back to me 3 days later and they're like, why didn't you leave a spot for me?
And we're like, well, we start tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
We thought you weren't interested.
And we try to be kind. Like, somebody was like, I was in the hospital with my child. And I was like, okay, I'll open it up for you.
Right.
And then they still never registered.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, so we had to make these rules. And you feel like a crappy person making these rules. But we have to be efficient.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm going to be at my computer 24/7 waiting for these people to respond.
Right. We're actually about to wrap up today. I think we're going to offer... We have 2 spots we're going to offer to 2 families that fit them, and then we're done.
Yeah.
And we love the new people. And honestly, for the new people listening to this, which may be one of you, I think, because I think I happen to know one of the new families listens to this. That's it. It's hard to be our last group of new people. They were, like, really good.
Yeah. And most of the people are so enthusiastic. I love it. But you have to dig through a lot of riffraff to get to the enthusiastic people.
Well, see our reference to flaky homeschoolers in a podcast from a couple months ago.
That is so true.
Like this, that reinforces that stereotype for me. Like, because when I'm in my community, in my co-op community, in October, I'm feeling good about all homeschoolers. I'm like, we're amazing people. Mm-hmm. Look at our beautiful children. Look how much fun we have. Yeah. But this week, I'm like, oh gosh. Some of the stereotypes are true.
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling good about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a rough week.
Yeah, it is, but it makes it worthwhile when we have new people. Like, somebody was so excited about joining up. She was like, I can't wait. This is going to be the best thing for my family.
Yes.
And that's the thing that makes it all worthwhile.
Right. And that's what
mostly.
Mostly. It's just you got to grit your teeth and get through it. Yeah. So I think we said, what are we looking forward to? We're looking forward to getting started and getting past the registration week and maybe having our cup of coffee once a week.
Oh, yeah.
We also have, and this is so exciting for us, we are offering, so we've said this before, but we like to poll our co-op groups at the end of every session, like, what classes do you want to do? What ages want to do what classes? What field trips do we want to do? All that. And every year, music is like in the top 5. Like, every kid of every age wants to take a music class. Every parent of a child of every age wants their kids to take a music class because we all know piano's expensive. Violin lessons are expensive. Percussion lessons are expensive. We all want it. But the problem is, none of us are necessarily musically inclined. We do have a dad that is musically inclined, but he's the full-time employee. He works full-time in that family, so he can't. commit to coming on Fridays and teaching all the time, though he would absolutely do it if he could. But we got a music teacher.
Like an actual music teacher.
Like this is what he's done for his entire life.
Professionally in a school.
Yeah. And on a total whim, he's a grandparent of one of our families. Actually, he's a grandparent of the favorite new person from last session of Jen's.
Yeah. Well,
she won the new person award.
She's really doing,
She's amazing.
She's high on my list because she's also teaching a Spanish class, which is something that also everybody wants. It's a foreign language. It's like the second one the parents request.
Yes. So she brought her stepdad, the grandparents of her children. She has two. Had a moment of children. Of her children, just to co-op so he could see it. And it happened to be the day that we announced the poll results. And we were like, guys, number 2 everyone wants is music. Ha ha, very funny. We know that never works because none of us can even carry a tune. He was like, I'll teach music. And we were like, really? He's like, oh yeah, I'm a certified teacher in the state. I've taught music my whole life. Then I was a substitute.
I play like 20 instruments.
Yeah, I play like 20 instruments. I've done this like my entire life. I'll take as many kids as you need and I'll teach all ages. And we were like...
Yeah, it was amazing.
Like my jaw dropped.
Are you sure?
I may have squealed.
I was like, this is free, right? You're not getting paid.
Yeah. And he was willing to do it. And he's teaching 2 different age groups, music to your kid who's old and my kid who's not, my baby and my family. So like...
They're thrilled.
The classes are full. They have wait lists for them. I mean, we're so excited. I'm so excited about music.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to hear little voices and little, oh my gosh, it's going to be so cute.
It is.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that as we head into this academic year. What are you looking forward to?
Other than having coffee?
Yeah. What about your son? What are you doing with him? Oh, that's right. You're doing like a geography thing.
Oh, yeah. My whole whole school year, I think, is geography and animals.
Oh, that's straight up his alley.
Yeah, totally. It'll be fun, hopefully. No fighting.
Although my only issue with homeschoolers and geography, and maybe this is just me, it's like, okay, we're going to go to this continent and go to this country, and then we're going to cook this from there, and we're going to make this craft from there. And you're like, I don't want to make it. And they're like, what ingredients do I need from the international foods aisle?
Yeah.
Because,
it's always some funky thing.
You're like, yeah, it's just not something that
Let me find my borscht and
yeah, this certain kind of sweet potato flour. I know that was something we were doing. And then, this is similar to what I did in kindergarten with my kids. And it was like, by the time I got to like Asia, I was like, I don't want to make another recipe.
I have to admit, sometimes I don't tell them there's a recipe.
Yeah, I have been known to skip. Or a craft. I'm like, that looks messy.
Yeah. We have a co-op for that.
That has 3 days. That takes 3 days to make that decoupage, paper dragon. I'm going to go with a no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's super fun. I think by the time they get older, though, it's more like, let's read this book from an author in this country. And you're like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's more my speed.
It seems like that's mostly what it is. It's not going to be too bad.
That's more of what my speed is. Can we sit down, read a book, and have a snack?
I mean, I do like to cook with them, but
I don't.
They're just weird. They're just weird stuff.
I know. We did this porridge that I can't remember what country it is in Africa that does it, but it's sweet potato. It's like basically like corn and sweet potato ground together in a porridge. And it tasted okay. Like my kids were like, that's pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, but I made it with your assistance. Like I'm sure it tastes actually way better if somebody from
Africa cooked it?
Yeah, whatever country. I want to say it was Kenya, but don't quote me. Somebody Kenyan made it where they know what they're doing instead of me like grits and sweet potato and And I'm like, I don't know. It's so it was kind of weird and it did not reheat well. I didn't want to waste it. Luckily I have chickens.
Yeah.
And
we also been doing a lot of canning.
Oh yeah.
Brittany and I
Well, so fun fact, you can can watermelon.
Yeah, I don't know how well.
Yes, we have been doing a lot of canning, and then a couple of days ago we decided to can water. Well, let's back up because one of our listeners is the reason we are canning watermelon.
My mother.
Yes, who we love.
Who grows watermelon just for my child. And she doesn't need to grow it in such abundance, but she does. So I came home with like 8 giant watermelons.
And more are coming, apparently.
Yeah, there's more out there.
Fun fact about Jen, she hates watermelon.
I do. So it's really inconvenient for me to have.
Right. And she has 1 child. I have 3. And then this probably just encouraged Jen's mom because I was like, I'll take them. I love watermelon. So do my kids. So does my husband. So now,
She's like, show Brittany the picture of the watermelon I'm sending.
I mean, I'm excited. Thanks, Mom. But we decided we were going to make watermelon lemonade concentrate.
Which was fine.
It tasted good. The kids liked that one. And then we made watermelon jelly.
Yeah, which I don't know if I'd recommend to other people. It actually looked kind of pretty.
Yeah, because we used yellow watermelons.
Yeah.
Because that's what Jen's mom grew.
Yeah, so it ended up being a very pretty hue of like an orange yellow. I don't know how it tasted.
Of the 4 children, it tasted okay. It took a little bite. Of the 4 children, one of them liked it. My daughter. She said it tasted like Jell-O.
My son said it tasted like honey, but not in a good way, in a bad way. I don't even know what that means, but I got it.
I think part of it is we were tasting it. Well, Jen won't taste it at all because she hates watermelon. But I was like tasting little tiny things because I'm not supposed to be eating sugar. And it was hot because we're canning it.
Yeah, hot watermelon.
And my daughter was like, oh, this is weird. But then she tried it again when it had cooled off and it had really set. And she said she really liked it. So anyway, we do a communal salad bar. Everybody brings something and people can make salads on our Fridays. And if I bring watermelon salad dressing, you'll know what it's made out of.
You're going to make the jam out of it?
I mean, I have a recipe that does a raspberry dressing with raspberry jam.
Oh, I guess.
But I don't think
that sounds horrendous.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's bad. But if I get desperate, that's what's happening.
I think we'll be celebrating its 10-year anniversary of being in our shelf.
Yeah. And I guess we'll really test out how well we canned it.
Yeah, it would.
And then it started boiling and I'm shouting, Jen! Because I didn't know what to do because that was Jen's recipe. I did the watermelon lemonade concentrate. That was my recipe. Fun fact about that too. I got a lot of fun facts today. The seeds, when you process it in the blender, will get ground up if you don't take them all out.
Oh, and it looked weird. Yeah. They were bouncing.
Yeah, whatever. But we've done a lot of canning.
It was a good use for all those watermelons.
Yeah. We've done the more typical salsa, peaches, jam, normal jam, not watermelon jam.
All kinds of stuff we can't eat. Yeah.
I know. That's why the tomatoes got to come back. Yeah. Next week, tomatoes, salsa. Are you going to... Well, we'll talk about that later. Not on air. You guys don't need to hear us talk in depth about our dieting plans.
We already spilled enough and everybody's probably judging us.
Yeah, they're like, these people. Thyroids. Detox.
Hey, it helps to do something, a health challenge in.
Right. Yeah.
Power numbers. We all do it together. It's helpful. And we all text each other with our misery.
Yeah.
I think one of our friends ate cauliflower oatmeal this morning.
Oh, she did. I was making my chicken sausages because that's what I was making for myself this morning and slicing up some fruit. And she said that. And I was like, I thought we agreed that cauliflower was not oatmeal.
Yeah. It does not belong with cinnamon.
I mean, I can eat almost anything. I have not a refined palate.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it, but I don't know.
I mean, I like cauliflower and I like cinnamon, but I don't know if they combine very well.
No, I need a lot of sugar, I think, and I can't have that.
I think she put a date in it, which I don't know. Yuck.
I guess you could do stevia.
An apple or something. God, it just sounds horrible.
Yeah, I'd rather not eat.
Yeah,
and maybe that's what's happened a few days. I'll be straight up honest with you. If I've lost any weight, it's because I was like, I'm just not. It's too much work to make a lunch. And my kids, my another friend of mine texted at me and she goes, my husband just ate a fried chicken sandwich in front of me. And I was like, wow. So my husband thinks this is crazy. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, I'm eating what I want to eat. And my kids they're kids and they need to eat, normal food. And so here we are with our cauliflower oatmeal and a roast chicken. But no butter on that roast chicken.
Yeah, it's flavorless. Turmeric. We're letting use turmeric.
Yes. And cumin. But no paprika, no chili powder, which is really hard when you're making chili, which I tried to do.
Did you? Yeah. Without tomatoes?
Yeah, I put pumpkin in it.
And out seeds? What makes it chili at that point?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like beef and pumpkin soup.
Stew.
It was fine. I love pumpkin.
Yeah, but that's our baseline now. It's fine.
Yeah.
All the food has been fine.
You can have cassava, which is a root vegetable, and they make it into flours and pasta. Actually, the cassava pasta is not bad. I made cassava biscuits, and the statement was, they're edible. haven't tried cassava pancakes. I heard that's not bad.
What are you going to put on them?
Fruit?
Apple butter?
I guess I could just cook. I did fry some apples in coconut oil. This has been the entire month of us talking about food that we can or can't eat.
I'm just so hungry.
We had like a lot. I mean, like to the point that we were like, can we have balsamic vinegar? Like, I mean, like that was a hot debate.
Is pepper okay?
Yeah, is black pepper allowed? It is. It's a riveting time in our lives. And then, I almost bought a farm in the midst of all this. Didn't.
Yeah, we were going to farm into the sunset together.
But I was ready, and I was like, Jen, get over here. We're going to buy this. It was built in 1793. We were going to renovate and buy a farm, my husband and I, and it didn't work out, which is probably okay because fall, where I'm going to start homeschooling my kids for the next year and run a co-op and work for another nonprofit I work for and do all this other stuff that I have to keep, and have a partner. My husband works a crazy job, same one as Jen's.
Oh, and fun fact about Brittany, since we're doing fun facts,
yeah.
She does not accept help from anybody. You have to force it upon her.
I was like, Jen, what am I going to do? She's like, ask me for help. I was like,
that's not really an option.
Yeah. I was like, is that on the table ever? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it was probably in the end good. The car also broke down like the same week that we were finding out if we were buying a farm or not.
Yeah.
So when we found out we were not buying the farm, it was, a relief when we had to go buy a new car and know that we weren't going to go broke.
Yeah, it's all right. You could have used my husband's car indefinitely.
Yeah.
Because he walks to work. At least he's that close. So.
Yeah. What's he going to do in the winter? Speaking of what we're looking forward to.
My husband will probably walk.
He'll probably walk. Yeah.
But I asked him that. I was like, aren't you worried about like being run over by a snowplow? And he's like,
If it's that bad, my husband will drive him home.
I can pick him up. He's 2 minutes away from my house.
Not if it's not plowed out.
Yeah.
That's something I'm looking forward to. I'm over summer.
Yeah.
Officially. We got this little taste of fall weather because it was a heat wave. And we're actually in the middle of a severe drought up here in New England. Severe drought. It is hot. The grass is crunchy, which is really weird for where we live.
Mm-hmm. We haven't had to cut the grass in like a month.
Yeah, same. It seems to be the universal statement because we were talking to our neighbors and they're like, I haven't had to cut the grass.
Which is actually kind of nice.
It is, except that you're like, well, if you're trying to grow food, the farmers are like in dire straits. And then they're worried, where we live, there's a lot of wells, not a lot of city or town water. And so everyone has wells and like people are, not in my town, but people are worried about the wells running dry. It hasn't happened near me yet, but it's probably closer than it has happened in a long time. So we're in the middle of a drought. Then we had a heat wave where temperatures were like real feel, 103, which is really hot for where we live.
Yeah, New England, that doesn't happen very often.
No, 85 is the dead of summer.
Yeah.
So
It's lovely, usually.
Yeah, and so we went through that, and then it cooled off. And now I'm ready. Oh, and part of this thyroid connection thing that we're doing is we have to go outside within 20 minutes of waking up.
This is the most ridiculous thing. My mom made fun of me so much for this. Because you have to go, within 20 minutes of waking up, you have to go feel the sunset. I mean,
sunshine.
The sunshine on your skin.
Yeah, for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes while drinking lemon water. It's so absurd.
And so we send each other sarcastic texts.
This can't be based in science.
It's like 6 a.m. and I'm like, I'm outside drinking my lemon water. Why am I not skinny yet?
Yeah.
We have noticed the temperature acutely because we can't have coffee and we're outside at 5:30, 6 a.m. with our lemon water and it's hot. But then it cooled down.
And it was real cold. I was wearing a sweatshirt outside.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for leaf change, cool weather, apple, everything, pumpkin, everything.
Oh, especially when we start drinking coffee again.
We do have to find a compliant pumpkin spice recipe to go with our thyroids.
It has to be made with goat milk.
Oh, that's true. We are allowed to have goat dairy back. Well, I am ready for that. That's right. Speaking of, we're leaving here where we podcast, which is the library, and we're going to check out one of our local stores because I'm like, I literally texted Jen last night and I was like, let's go look at our goat milk options over at the store.
And I got a reminder on my phone, like Siri was like, reminder, go look at our goat milk options. It was really funny.
Oh, man. So we're looking forward to a pumpkin spice latte made with goat milk in October, once a week.
And stevia.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. That's not... Ironically, sugar is not a thing for me. I can be like, okay, I'm done sugar-free. Popcorn's going to be hard.
Oh, see, I have no temptation with popcorn.
Mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes.
Potato chips? You're not a snacker? Pretzels.
I would rather have a meal.
That's true. But like a biscuit with that meal? Sandwich? Cows of breads are not doing
Dude,
it.
I've only had smoothies for the last month for
I
breakfast.
know. Well, this is the other
Stop
thing.
talking about food.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So there we go. I'm going on a trip.
Oh yeah, you're going to go on vacation.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah. Well, you're with your family, so there's always
With
that.
my extended family to Pennsylvania. Shout out to you all in Amish country. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Woo!
Riveting.
Yeah. Which that's even more ironic. I'm like, oh great, I get to go vacation for a week in the land of milk and cheese.
Yeah.
That I can't eat
And
it.
pastries.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, and I don't know, but that's like how I'm wrapping up summer. And then we're gonna go clean out our supply closet at the church we rent for our co-op and get
awesome.
cranking.
Yeah, it's real excited.
I think about once a day I say to somebody in our co-op, if not Jen, I can't believe we're doing this in a couple weeks.
It went so fast.
It went so fast. I don't think I fully recovered.
In my head, I had all these plans for summer. Like, we're going to do math 3 times a week, and we're going to do this, and we're going to read this, and hardly any of those things happened. I think we did math consistently for a week this summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't do any of our sometimes I'll say like extra read alouds. Like I really want to read this book, but can't really fit it in anywhere. That's what we'll do over the summer. We'll read this book and do like a unit study about this book.
Yeah.
None of those happened.
Well, my son has gotten really into the Harry Potter books. So
Yeah.
he's been
That's true. We did finish those.
spending 45 minutes in the bathroom reading those every day. So I was like, well, you got your reading in. I don't care.
Yeah, he did tell me. He's like, I don't just read one chapter. I read a lot when I read them. I really commit. That's what
It's
he
like,
told me on our car ride where he commented about registration. Yeah.
yeah, he says he just likes to sit in the bathroom and read. He's not going to the bathroom. He's
Doesn't
just,
he lose like circulation? I was that kid as well. Like I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be in bed. I'm going to go read in the bathroom because I can say I'm pooping.
Yeah.
And I would lose like circulation in my legs.
Yeah, because he's not that tall.
No.
I don't know. He hasn't complained. My stepdad was like, he's going to get hemorrhoids. I was like, oh, whatever.
I don't think we have to worry about that yet.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. So here we are. We're wrapping up summer. This is what we're looking forward to. Food,
Yeah.
music, classes, some structure.
Sorry, guys. I know this was riveting.
I need a little routine in my life. I am not good with a little cooler weather. What else?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's supposed to be hot today again, too.
Yeah.
And I just told my husband to put the air conditioners back up in that attic.
Oh, no.
Well, because he never installed them, so they were just sitting on
Oh,
the
well,
floor.
then they can go. Yeah. I think we've got about 2 weeks. And then around September, I say September 11th, not referring to the national incident of 20-something years ago. I say it because that's normally around when we open soccer season, and my youngest plays soccer. And about when soccer season opens is when I tell my husband, okay, we may have a few more hot days, but it's not worth paying for them to run. So we're going to take them out. So I think that's 3 weeks away. No. Yeah, 3 weeks away. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I've got 3 more weeks of my window units. But then I can open my windows, which I prefer, especially at night.
Me too. They're always open.
Yeah.
Up until like November.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you get the warm days in November and you can crack them open for a few hours. Yeah, so that's what we're looking forward to. We'd love to hear what you're looking forward to. Feel free to find us on Instagram, Facebook, or at thevillagehomeschoolers@gmail.com and let us know what you're looking forward to in this upcoming year. We'd love to chat, and we'll be back next week. Bye.